Every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody
Anthony
out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank Cristina Carter. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cristina Carter. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, the Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
It's during the week, homie. The Roy
every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap
bar
in.
before we gotta
Tap
talk.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
every
Show. Come on
Tuesday.
and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
Tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cristina
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West.
Man, you said this bitch was fucking. Oh,
Shut up.
Well,
come on, man. Man, she
we
said
came for
Beat
Come on,
that
man, spit
ass
this
till
shit
your
out, man.
turn
This
to blue.
is fucking
That's it.
what?
To beat
I don't know
that
if you
ass till your
know.
ass turn blue. I'm gonna beat. Give me something else.
Man,
I'm gonna
this
beat
paid.
your ass.
Man, we already paid the
I'm gonna
hoe.
beat the fuck. Get
Man,
your
I'm
ass
here,
out.
go.
Get
Hey.
the fuck you
Time
up.
go.
shit,
Get
man.
out your ass out.
Hey, man, you on
Office. You get your ass. I don't care. In the
Oh,
name.
God.
Damn, you alright?
And let me tell you something.
Come on, man.
Let me tell you something right now.
maybe
In the name of the St. Lucifer Baptist
You ain't
Everything
shit, man.
Church,
crazy.
if you don't come back with
think
my
she's floating,
money,
dude.
let me tell you something right now.
She's floating.
If you don't come
You
back
gonna have to walk
with my money,
Take care of you.
I'm gonna
Wait a
beat
minute.
your ass again.
Wait a minute. What?
And you can
Man,
put
man,
that
what the fuck this
on everything.
devil?
What it do? What it do? What it do? Once again, this is comedian Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. We're in our third season. Matter of fact, 1/3 of our third season. This is the Roy Anthony Show coming live on the Woe Entertainment, which was created by Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose and our associate producer Blue Phoenix, Nathan. We got my man Matthew Brooks, I think that's his last name, and a lot of different Woe standards. Also, I want to give a shout out to the, I think it's called the BK Nation. I wanted to give a shout out to them as well. If I'm saying it wrong, y'all, you know where my heart is. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. My co-stars, Big Hank, Cristina Carter, they be popping in. Sometimes Cristina, being a single mother, she doesn't let the limelight and everything deter her from when she has to deal with her family. And when you're dealing with teenagers, I have two teenagers. They'd be 14 and 18 this coming March. And I'm like, wow. And so, but I've been, you know, kids is something of a trip because, you know, sometimes our kids think that they know everything. They watch what we do and how we keep in life, and they feel like, oh, I can get this. And no, but they don't understand. You got to go out there and make that money. And so we just want to give a shout out today. I know my co-stars will be coming in pretty soon. This is February the 22nd, 2022. It's all twos. 2/22 in the year 22. And today's subject is, does equality make it equal? Now, I always summed up that equality is the actual definition of equal. If someone to say, hey, well, we're going to make this an equality situation, I'm thinking then I'm going to get an equal portion to whatever the person or the people around and stuff. Sometimes you see these, you've been in a grand lawsuit and they tell you, well, out of so many people, we're gonna split this equally. That meaning that if there's $1 million and there's 50 people in there, then you do the math. You may pull out at least 10,000 or 20,000, depends. How many, like I said, how many people's in there? 51 million divided by 50. And then we ain't even added the lawyers because that's a whole different level. But equality is to be equal. And I hear a lot of our Americans fighting over who's an American. We don't have the time to worry about who's American when we're like about to face a war. I don't know why, it's over some territory reasoning that Ukraine and our country and the, Europe and other countries is on our side about this. As an American, I have to support my Americans. I'm kind of baffled by some of these. Like I was listening to the one guy, what's his name, Tucker Carson, I don't know, but with the platform that you have, it seems like you're questioning about America, and then you try to explain when other people, your own your own platform of people is asking the same thing. Even though we have a problem with equality in our own country, but when we going over there and our troops is going over there, our military is going over there, while you sitting at home, Mr. Tucker, in your Florida home and in the comfort zone, your comfort zone is based upon the military. Now, who is you to question what's a real American? Because I'm questioning you, not even about race. Because if we all come together and we decide that we got to bring it to these people, who are you to say who's American or not? Because you like this particular country. It baffles me. Anytime somebody says 2 + 2 is 4, he's the type of person who wants to say, well, is it really 4? Could it be 4.5? Could it lean more to 5? And it's people like that makes me feel like your media has gave you such a platform. Somebody was telling me the other day, like they said, Roy, you need to push for more people to hear you because you be having the real conversations. I said, well, my job is just to be obedient to the spirit that I serve and to speak up. Am I right all the time? Obviously, the way I get some feedback, some people don't like some of the things I say. I'm talk about humanity. I see equalness as equalness. I never get was when I was in college, 5 of us was in my car and we were scraping up change, and somebody suggested let's go get some French fries from McDonald's. So we scraping up change and we come up with enough to get 4 large fries. Now there's 5 of us. So what we did was we asked for an extra bag and we split all the French fries accordingly as even as we could in all 5 bags. Now all 5 of us was eating French fries because we equalized it out, which is called equality. Some people can care less about you being equal. They love that power. They love to be able to say and knowing that millions of people is listening to them, but their high cause all types of damage. But hide when the drama comes. Because when you're questioning like our troops, why don't you, I don't see you fighting over there. I'm a support wherever our American troops go because I have a lot of veterans that are family members who has passed and is living, a lot of friends and family members who are in the service, who served in the service, and I salute them. Not probably wait, this is when I say salute, I'm like, yeah, man, give them a big hug, man. I appreciate you. Cause you here. Cause some people didn't make it back. That's what war is about. You have deaths and casualties of war. But when you have somebody, instead of talking about still kind of divide us, it's getting old with your rhetoricness of constantly trying to divide. I don't understand someone like Tucker when you know you got millions and some people and stuff, and y'all lucky. Some of y'all, especially on January the 6th, you're lucky that the Justice Department hasn't tried to charge you with higher, heinous, more crimes. Because if it was up to me, everybody who crossed them thresholds of where them dead police officers is all accessory to murders. Where I see it. Forget trying to, oh, you walked into a federal building and all that stuff, getting probation. No, where I see it, you stepped over a body, you knew there was a body there, and you still went in there for your own purpose, you're accessory to murder, just point blank. Because you can believe this. I've been in LA sitting with a friend of mine way on the other side of LA County. Some of his known acquaintances go do a crime, and the police come and arrest this homie way over. He wasn't even around the crime, but since he was associated with them, was putting the murder charge on this brother as well. You know, I had to tell police he was over my house doing this point. I live way in Long Beach. This happened in LA. They had him arrested because of his association with him. Now, when I see all these people and stuff, and I'm seeing, you know, I'm not worried about, you know, former President Trump telling them, let's go to the Capitol and take back. I'm tripping about the people who lost their lives. These aren't throw rugs. This is a people who lost their lives, and you still stepped over them to follow with your agenda. Then some of them was yelling out, killing Pence, killing Nancy Pelosi and AOC and all types of senators, where it had to be serious because they was hiding. And when a mob, no matter if it was 1 or 2 people screaming to kill, that's a terroristic threat. Whenever you are threatening somebody, I'm gonna kill, now we got a second charge, terroristic threats. That's only befitting. To me, that's equality. Because if me or one of my brothers went and say, yeah, let's go kill them, we're getting shot. I can best believe we're gonna get shot. We're gonna get shot before we even reach them Capitol steps. You know, I see a lot of stuff that I question about equality when I'm seeing how certain of our Americans is treated compared to others. It ain't no going backwards. It's a shame when there's people still trying to disqualify blacks and Latinos when one thing we was fighting as free and slave folks against the Revolutionary War. We're gonna get into that. We have fought in every war. We have created all these inventions, and I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not into Black History Month. I've never been into it since I was a kid. Why would I, inventions are inventions. Science, contributeness to this country doesn't just need to be saluted for a month. I don't tell it is the American way. America has inventions that other countries didn't have. We created it. And next thing you know, you got people who is trying to act like this is their country. You look back through your history and you say to yourself, what did my family groups do for this country, for you to consider this your country? I see one of my co-stars is in the house. And so what's up with you, Miss Christina?
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm okay. How you doing?
All right. I was just speaking about you and stuff, hoping all was well. I meant to call you during this weekend, but we getting this major studio set up.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be bringing you up from Mississippi sometimes out there to Long Beach. You can believe that.
That's what's
And
up.
so we've been working on a lot of different situations, but it's good to see you.
Good to be around.
Yeah. How's everything going with you?
It's been a lot, but I'm here. I'm dealing with it.
Good. I like your household, that grand piano on the back with the long.
That is a green screen. That's my dream.
You should have just ran with it.
I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't gonna perpetrate on it.
I'm from the hood. My stuff
That's
don't look
right.
like this. I'm on my way from the penthouse to up there. I ain't there yet. I'm on my way though.
Well, you know what? And that's what I be saying, from the pit to the palace. I'm in the transition between, because I used to be deep in the pit.
Man, I'm in the pit. I'm in there.
Hey, but you gonna get out of that. Trust that.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. And that's what our subject today, Big Hank could be popping in. But our subject today is equality really equal? I was talking to our viewers just now about, like, here it is. We are facing a war right now. We're on Ukraine side about to fight Russia. Now, when I see the news of the countries that's coming together, it says America and the UK and EU. Now, it doesn't say only white Americans. It doesn't say the rich Americans. It says the Americans, because when we go over there with our troops, it's blacks, whites, Asians, some who's in America, the Asians, Latinos, all types. That's if you're an American and you over there, you considered American. We have our certain military fatigues that they wear to identify if you are an American or not. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it gets me when I hear people say, hey, our producer just came in, CEO, what's up, CEO, Rich King? See, that's why I honor all our military, for one. I want to state that. They go over there, and we sit here sometimes not understanding of the freedom that they're fighting for us when we're not over there fighting. So I always looked at it, if someone's over, fighting for me or fighting for the freedom, so my kids can have freedom. It to me, that's when it seems like we're united. Like on 9/11, we was united. We was Americans. This other country came messing with Americans. It was blacks who died in those twin towers, along with whites and Latinos. I have a problem with people like, what's his name, Carson Tucker. You have millions of viewers, but yet you got of all things, to question America. You know, you got it ain't Democrats and Republicans, they all in agreement. There's some reason why we're going over there. I don't question it. But if all the generals and the military is saying, hey, and they agreeing, you got one person. And then he started defending himself because people was calling Mr. Tucker out for, are you really American? He tried to say, yeah, Americans. You don't speak for America. You speak to a lot of Americans, but you don't speak for us. You sit in comfort of your home in Florida and everything and surround yourself around certain people, but I don't see you going over there to be a diplomat. I don't see you over there. You trying to talk about they was trying to get an interview with Putin. Putin done said what he wanted to say. You need to listen what your Americans are saying. That's what Americans do. We listen to each other and we decide how we'll deal with somebody else. Now, I like to still deal with the situations that's in hand. But when we all come together, I know you got family members and friends in the military, right? Miss Uniqueness. You know anybody who's been in the military?
Yeah, my dad was in the military. My dad was in the military for a short period though.
Yeah, but guess what? Did he come out alive?
He did.
Did he say, man, there was stuff going on? Because
Too
when you
much.
go in the military, you're looking at death and its whole purpose. No matter how a person go in, they join the military. So when our country say you go do this, you expect that to happen, right?
You right.
Yeah. Um, um, our producer said that's right. He speaks to Americans, not for Americans. And there's the difference. Sometimes some people think that, oh yeah, you're a leader because just like me, I'm not. I'm considered a natural leader just within my group. This platform is based about conversations. I'm just talking. I'm having a conversation with Miss Uniqueness and with the rest of the world who's looking in, because this is on World Wide Web. I have nothing to hide. But if my country says we're going to do this, and I know that my family tree been in every military situation, Miss Christina, in the history of the U.S. My family goes all the way to 1661 in the Macon Revolution. There was people don't understand there was some wars before the Revolutionary War, like the Indian Revolution and all this. Then we decided, but look here, our producer said he was in Bosnia, didn't understand it, but he went. And guess what? He was going to do his duties. He's here because he's our producer of the War Entertainment, which is a platform that was made to bring awareness of our veterans that's committing suicide. And then, so to me, this ain't a black, white, Latino, Asian issue. It's not a race issue. It's about we're United States. United means one. We're a country. Whether we understand, like Richard King said, why are we going over here, or why are we going to Ukraine and all that. If you don't use your platform to question our Americanness. Mr. Tucker, you're sitting there in comfort of your home because of the freedom that our veterans do. Now you questioning the leaders. Some people gave him a little bit too much respect, or I say, because like he said, in the military, we are all green. Now here's a guy and stuff who shows division and tells me and you and everybody else who's listening, who's a real Americans. That bothers me. Why do you think? Because you got a million people you listen to, because some people like listening to propaganda. And so that's why people watch the comedians, because those comedians going to say things that some people don't want to say. So it's funny when you hear a comedian saying something. But I'm an American. And when they over there, our American soldiers is over there about to face a war, somebody's going to die. And them bullets don't discriminate. Them bombshells, they do not discriminate. If a bombshell hits in there, it ain't about, well, okay, they ain't made no bomb to just say, okay, we're going to take out just the blacks, or we're just going to take out some of the whites. No, that bomb take out everybody. And when they tell you to march and you head to that fighting, just like them guys over in Russia, they probably don't understand why Putin got them doing this, but they following orders. You don't hear nobody on no Russia podcast questioning Putin. He gonna be hanging upside down on the star in someone's basement. See, we got freedom, and Mr. Tucker seems to take advantage of his freedom. You know, you end up want to be like Russia, and you think you want to say the stuff that you got to say. You're lucky that President Joe Biden, they go get that joke and hang him upside down. We're gonna hang him upside down on a cross. You know, I mean, they could be like that. But yet, you want to question, that got me when he said, you know, the real Americans. Who is you to say who's a real American? Real Americans are those who go and fight in the military and come back. I ain't seen them fight nowhere. He said he can, some producer said he can live in Canada. He down there in Florida thinking that he's safe and stuff, you know, probably a reptilian, you know. And it gets me though when I say, that's why I said, is equality really equal? Because this man has equality, but he doesn't speak equalness. Somebody told him he's a leader. He wouldn't like me because I'd be bagging on him. I'd be bagging on him. Because you have showed me that, and now look here, Miss Uniqueness, he's starting to question, he's trying to defend himself because white Americans was questioning his patriotism. You know, they was like, you know, and I mean, it's a deep subject. I want to share something. I want to share some subjects, and people say, what's he talking about when I say about, for one, I want to share this. Equality is supposed to be equal. We're supposed to be equal, and that's what equality means. Now, hey, Miss Uniqueness, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is that I got shown on here?
No, I don't. I don't know too much about the military and stuff like that. So,
oh well, this is part of you as an American. This is considered what they call the Declaration of Independence. It's our Constitution. Okay, it's the Declaration of Independence in Congress, July the 4th, 1776. That's why we celebrate the 4th of July, because we declared our independence as a sovereign state away from British rule. Now, I want to read this. You can always look it up, anybody, look up what the Declaration of Independence, and I'm going to the second verse. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator, which is God, with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are insulted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. That's what it says. You can read it for yourself. When there's things like this going on, that's what they tried to do to me, I feel like they tried to do that on January the 6th. Now, I love our producer. Everyone knows that I have a love, no intimate love. That's my brother, Richie King. He's my brother. It's not, I ain't like Fred Sanford used to do. We ain't that. How he used to do, we not that. That's my brother. Goose, my brother. Blue Phoenix, my sister. And they went to the military and fought. Sometimes some of our brethren, they go through the depression. It gets tired of that. So sometimes we have to define what is equality. I was reading this passage by these group called the 3%ers who tried to make it seem like it was just 3% of them that fought in the Revolutionary War. I said, man, you gotta get your facts, and everybody knows me that I'm a what is it? I always research. I always research stuff. Christina, you got your mic.
I'm here.
Yeah, I know you got some. Thank you for coming in last Thursday. Last Thursday, I knew you wasn't present, and I always know. I was just talking about it earlier that you had to deal with teenagers, so I know that you was going back and forth to school. One was in the hospital, car accident, and so I don't like to just paint. But Christina's strong, as y'all can see, she's here. Well, Thursday we talked about charters. Charters is which police can stop you for nothing. Police can get behind you and they can take you to jail for a basic ticket. If you don't go to jail just for, you got a ticket that you owe, you don't go to jail, really they gave you a pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to share this with everyone. I want to share this when I seen people talking about what especially with Black Americans, because we're going over in war, and I ain't heard one Black protest about going over there to fight Russia. I was reading this. It's a story on this. I want to read it, just read a little bit, so people, you can always go to Google what I'm saying. You can always look at it. This is it. I'm going to read this passage right here. This is Fort Meade, Maryland, February 27th. Well, this it's the winter of 1777. This was wrote in 2013. It's the winter of 1777 through 1778 under General George Washington. The Continental Army is waiting out the winter at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. Just 1 year earlier, they had led lightning-fast surprise attack against the British at Trenton and Princeton, New Jersey. Now, let's get down. No, I'm not. But now, many of the soldiers are without shoes and blankets. They're starving. They're suffering from exposure, typhus, dysentery, and pneumonia. I don't know what typhus and dysentery is, but whatever it is, it sounds like something you do not want. They're dying and they're deserting, and Washington has no way to replace them. States aren't meeting their militia quotas. There simply aren't enough willing and able men left to fight, willing and able white men, that is. Because at the start of the war, Washington had been a vocal opponent of recruiting Black men, both free and especially slaves. He wasn't alone. Many Southern slave owners and many Northern slave owners found the idea of training and arming slaves and thereby abetting a possible slave rebellion far more terrifying than the British. Black men had long served in colonial militias and probably even saw action during the French and Indian War, explained retired Major Glenn Williams, a historian at the U.S. Army Center for Military History, but they had usually been relegated to support roles like digging ditches. In fact, he continued, most Southern militias have been created precisely to fight off slave insurrections. And I thought that was deep, man. I don't know if anybody else understand. To me, that was deep because of the fact that, for one, we have never been cowards to fighting in any of these wars. We find ourselves equal to want to fight for this country just like any other of our neighbors. When our producer and them was in the military, Blue Phoenix, and they had blacks and Latinos and any other race that was part of America to fight for this country, because why? They believe in equality. We get frustrated that when we're here in this country, though, people say, well, why are you complaining? You think we're making it up? They think you think we're making this stuff up when we say how different it is, even though we fight the same battles?
Right.
Let me share this video, man. Let me show you this video. I'm going to share this video with everyone. I want them to see this video. I'm about to show this. I want to here we go. If they let me, this what happened this here recently. Oh, they done stopped my video from playing. I don't know why. They done stopped my video from playing. So I'm just going to get off of that. I'm not going to share that. The video happened just recently when two teenagers are fighting in the mall. I know everybody's heard this. One is assumed that he's a white teenager, but he's really was Pakistani mixed with Colombia, so he looked white, fighting a young black teenager. They both the same age. They having a fist fight, and it's really found out it was a big misunderstanding. You got somebody who's instigating on the side that ain't even trying to fight, got a whole bunch of people riled up, and it's a little dude got people riled up by putting out that this group is going to punk this group and this group is going to go punk that group. So these two came to be defending their friends, and they end up getting into it. Now, so they fight. These two are fighting with the white teenager on top of the black teenager on the ground. The police rush in. They take the white teenager and sit him on the couch. They put their knee in the back of the black teenager and start handcuffing him. Now, it's an uproar now because guess what? And the little Pakistani kid said, hey, arrest me too. He even said it was wrong. Why are you isolating me? They like, no, you sit there on the couch and you make sure your butt is soft and you feel comfortable on this cushion couch and stuff while we deal with this animal here. That's basically what it's saying. But yet again, here to go to our DNA. We forgive. Police saying, and it's like, when is equality going to get equality? It's going to be equal. We've been protesting the senseless murders by the police hands, but no blacks have questioned why we in the military. I don't even question why we're going over to Ukraine. If our Congress and the head majors and generals saying that's what we got to do, and that's what we signed up for, then that's what we have to do. But a lot of these guys, like Mr. Tucker Carlson or Carson Tucker, whatever his name is, when you get to speaking about it, are you thinking about who is real Americans? Was you saying something? I couldn't hear you.
I said probably not.
You don't think what you feel about it? See, all right, let me bring you, if you ain't heard.
I think he inconsiderate. Like,
so you know what I'm talking about, right?
Considered, yeah. He's seeing stuff.
What you said.
It's like to me, he's inconsiderate. Like he's seeing things one sided. He ain't seeing it like both ways. He just take it like his own mindset. He's not looking at everybody as a whole. It's like he just seeing it for what he think it is on his own. Like nobody else in the world really matter. Like as far as other races and stuff.
But he works for a network. He works for Fox Network, I think, and they're not whining. I be wondering how do okay when the January 6th situation occurred. If former President Trump takes over, a lot of people don't understand. They thought, oh, them 700 people is going to run the country. No, that means whoever's in charge, the president, is over the military.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have been back over the military. And then he can instruct National Guards and all that.
See, I don't know a lot about this to speak on it because I don't know.
Yeah, see, he over the military. Oh, so they did all of this so they can be in control, because of control is controlling the military. That's like the worldwide police. So our government say, we part of Americans. We going over here to deal with this, to help Ukraine. I don't serve under Putin. I don't know nothing about none of that. I just know that my family has always served in the American military. So when I was a teenager and I used to listen to Chuck D, and I used to question the government, but my partners and everybody, we still joined the military because that was just a song. In our hearts, when you join the military, there's two things got to be. You want to really help our country, or you trying to help yourself. And it helps some people, a lot of people, to be better. Now, they come back, and this is why we bring awareness to, is about the suicides. Mm-hmm. To me, I felt like Tucker, I don't care about what all these cats with this repertoire, but I felt like he was really disrespectful. It's not because out of blacks or white, whatever. You're disrespectful to the military. You are not facing other bullets and bombs and all that. You putting in the heads of them guys that's going over there. You don't need nobody to question if they doing the right thing or not. You need them to be focused. We're Americans. It amazes me how we let some people just say anything, and then I keep hearing this, true Americans, true Americans. If you was born in the United States of America, every time when I'm trying to fill out I'm going to a position, or I'm trying to get some type of federal applications or whatever, guess what they always ask me? Are you an American citizen?
Yeah.
And you say yes. And then you have two proof of forms of identification, either Social Security card or passport and a driver's license. You have to have two on certain things. Am I correct?
You're right.
That means you're an American. You don't have no work visa. You don't have anything to show that you're not American. So when people say who's a real American, why? Because I'm on a podcast speaking, or is it because I'm actually doing something to make my country great? It's like former President JFK, rest in heaven, when he said, don't ask what your country can do for you. You're supposed to ask what you can do for your country. We try to bring entertainment. This is our podcast where we have a conversation. Sometimes it's not funny. Sometimes it's not serious. We're having a conversation. You could be drinking a martini or drinking some coffee or whatever. We just talking. It's not a confrontation. It's a conversation. But I have to have a conversation about when there's people who takes their platform to speak negative about the same country you stand in. Question the authorities. Who is you? It makes me where I don't want to watch Fox no more. I don't care what football game is on there or whatever. It's making me feel like I need to protest against them. And I know they wouldn't care. Hey, who is you, Roy Anthony? Big range comedian. You off brand. Who is you? Probably got only 100 followers. We dealing with millions. Okay. Because the truth is going to set you free.
Every time.
They say the road to hell is wide and plentiful, but the road to heaven is straight and narrow.
That's what they say.
That's what it say. It's not me making up those words. You heard them words before I heard the words. If you didn't know anything about the word, God, you down in Mississippi. Right now, I'm visiting Kansas City. You know, I come back and forth because my mother's here and stuff. And it was 70 degrees yesterday. And I'm like, oh, it's nice. And then all of a sudden, it's 29 degrees with snow flurries. I'm like, man, this.
It was like that all last week here. Like, we were so confused. Like, it's hot now. But yesterday it was cold. I'm like, okay.
Man, they messing with these, when you're messing with these rockets. I used to think that when I was a kid, only the government could shoot rockets up in the air. Now it seems like Elon Musk and my man who owns Jeff Bezos and them sending rockets up. Bill Gates sending rockets up. Like, man, what the world? You know, satellites. You don't know if a star, if it's a satellite.
Right, that part. There be some strange stuff going on now for real.
Hey, look, but I want to get on to this because see, this part here, it probably makes some folks a little bit upset. And I don't mind. I just don't like when people say, what have y'all done? What have you done? You know, when they say this is our country, we want our country back. I was reading a report where literally, for real, I was reading a report, Christina, where they're wanting, former President Trump, and it was reported by MSNBC that he is, he's facing a lot of cases right now. Civil criminal cases, and the opponents that are leading is like the Attorney General of New York is a black lady. The district prosecuting attorney for Manhattan, New York is this black guy. Then the Attorney General in Georgia is this black lady, and they all got these cases against former President Donald Trump, which now he is starting to say, y'all should fight for me because it's a witch hunt. Then he tried to put out a speech, and I'm not going to read this speech to try to make it seem, because he's facing this, and I want our viewers to listen to what I'm saying. He is saying this because they are affecting him and his family. I was looking at one of Ivanka Trump's homes. She got a $24 million mansion just on her own. Trump is saying that they're trying to ostracize or get rid of the white man because he's in trouble. So they're trying to make it seem like now it's a race thing. It's a witch hunt. And yeah. And so I was reading this report, and they said that the people was that the push is to take it back to 1956. This is the year that they want America to get back to in 1956.
Not with these generation of kids.
And look here, in 1956, you and I couldn't have nothing like this, a podcast to sleep. You probably even getting burnt down.
Period.
In 1956, you couldn't walk on the same sidewalk or
Yes.
look a white person in the face? 1956, Jim Crow laws were still around, which saying blacks can't come in the front, you gotta go on the back. Oh, you want my money, and they charge you more, but want you to go through the back.
Mm-hmm.
I found it amazing when the bus boycott back then. The blacks had to go sit in the back of a bus, even though they paying the same fare and sometimes more, but they had to go sit in the back of the bus. So when the Miss Patriarch, I forget her name's right at the tip of my tongue, who refused to sit down. It was countless others who refused to sit down. They was going to jail for not wanting to sit in the back. They boycotted. Now, this is the treacherous part I've never understood. And people, they boycotted the bus. I mean, we ain't riding the bus no more. Now the bus access is going downhill.
Right.
I'm giving you a ride to work. People advance. You know what they started doing? Thank you, Rosa Parks. It was Rosa Parks, and forgive me, I know somebody. Y'all remember Rosa Parks? Just so much research out, and she was at the tip of my tongue. But she wasn't the only one who refused to give her a receipt. She was the historical person because she worked for the NAACP. The blacks there was blacks before her who went to jail. I know in my spirit, I'm sitting down and worked hard all day. Now you're gonna tell me to get up and you sitting around here with a war, do my shirt? Nah, man. Well, guess what? I'm gonna get beat down, go to jail. That's what they're gonna do. That was back then. Okay. They blew up people's cars and buses for giving them a ride. This is history. You blowing up my car or my van because I don't want to ride your bus and go through the scrutiny of sitting in the back? No arrest was made for your van and your car being blown up. At this time, justice don't have no eyes for us. It don't seem equal at all. You want my bus fare, but you want me to sit in the back. So I say, I'm not going to ride your bus. Oh, now we got a problem. And to me, that's signaling. So when I hear people say, we need to take our America back to in 1956. Well, if you want to do that, I say do so, but you got to do it without these inventions. I'm about to hit them with this one. If they want to take and go to America and do it their way, you got to do it without these inventions. I just want to say this. I want to share this.
Do they honestly think that this breed of kids now, this generation, be ready?
Even if they did, they say they want their country for them. Okay, but you can't have these inventions. You didn't create these inventions. I'm gonna name off some of these inventions. That's what we're gonna do. These inventions are made by us blacks who you don't want in 1956. Folding cabinet bed, potato chips. You can look them up, George Crumb. Gas mask. How we gonna fight some of these bottles? You need to have a gas mask. Gary Morgan, protective mailbox. Philip B. Downey, blood bank. Knowing when you've been in an accident or something, you need some blood. Charles Drew, improved ironing board, home security system, 3-light traffic light, refrigerator trucks, automatic elevator doors, the electric microphone, color IBM PC monitor, and gigahertz chips. Black Mark Dean invented that. Super soakers, having fun, tissue holders, peanut butter, laser cycle, automatic gear shift. Got to drive, clothes drying. Got to dry my clothes, dustpan, folding chair, golf tees. Oh no, not the ice cream scooper, the lawnmower, lawn sprinkler, modern toilet, the mop. Boy, this seemed like a lot of stuff for us to be savages. Reversible baby stroller. Oh, okay. Our drag queens, we invented that. Local mania. Well, there's some inventions, some people we're going to say we don't want to say, but wait a minute, there's so much more. I just reading it, you can look it up yourself. Paper, chess, alphabets, medicine, serving tray walker, airplane propelling, biscuit cutter, coin changer, rotary engine, card coupler, letterbox, stainless steel pads, torpedo, corn planter, cotton planter, street sweepers. Man, the list goes on and on.
I don't do that.
The list goes on and on. So you're telling me that you want to go back to 1956, but you can't, I don't know why someone would think like, hey, that sounds so unequal to me. You want to lie? You see, what happens is my mother used to tell me this. She used to scare me because she would say all liars is not going to heaven. But the second she would say is you got to have a good memory when you're a liar because it always gets back.
Yeah.
You may ride with a lie for years and years, but eventually it comes back. Yeah, we said the potato chips, War Entertainment, they send it. But we don't have no problems of using okay. You talking about equality. I can go on and on and on. Sometimes I'll be wondering, Miss Uniqueness, and I'm being real on this one. I've tried to be real throughout the whole show. When we fought the Civil War and we won, we could have said, hey, there, President Lincoln, give us 5 ships. No, we don't want your 40 acres as a mule. That's what got him shot anyway, signing that second, about to sign in the morning, signing the second part of the Emancipation Proclamation. Just give us 5 ships so we can get on back out of here. We're going to let y'all do what you're doing because we've seen the future and you seem like you don't want us here anyway. So we're going to take that ship on back and let y'all do what y'all do. We headed over here to Mozambique and that'll be the history. But no, my grandfather said he asked his grandfather when he was a kid, and his grandfather said, we believe in this country. We believe in the future of it. They would be ashamed. And you got people with the same rhetoric. Some people want to have all the money. Some people want everybody. Man, I wouldn't care if you have all the money. Doesn't mean I'm going to bow to you. I'm not going to bow to no man. I guess I'll be that example. Because one of their patriots that they like to listen to, some people, and I like that dude's quote, only have one life to live. And I'm going to choose that. And I choose democracy, and I believe in the United States of America. I've made enough money to where I could have been and left this country. But I love my kids. I told them they got a few more years before they on their own. I mean, but I love my country. I don't like the things that happens in it. And we're constantly pushing for equality.
It's true.
I'm gonna be like dude on what's that, the new Sherlock Holmes with you when Sherlock Holmes and they was in the cab and I'm gonna tell you, Miss Unique, you have a fun gift of hearing, of listening. You were good at listening, Christine.
Yeah, if I can't relate, I agree to. Sometimes you agree to disagree, but I haven't, like I said, I'm not as into a lot of the stuff I'm learning. So if it sounds right and you still don't do research with it, they could be just as wrong as all that. That's why reading is fundamental. You're supposed to read it for yourself, no matter if you hear from somebody or not. I learned a lot just from listening, because a lot of stuff you talked about today, I didn't know about. I don't. Yeah. I'm really not aware.
I'm glad you're saying it, Christine. I'm not cutting you up. I'm glad you're saying it.
Yeah.
My grandmother said when I was a little kid, I didn't want to read. I want to go outside and play kickball and basketball. My grandmother didn't make me read. And she said, the best way they kept secrets from blacks is put it in the book.
And that was
And
so
I was like,
hurtful because that's true. Because black people, instructions come with making stuff, right? A lot of people rather look at the box instead of reading instructions, then wonder why there's a lot of screws left. You
hey,
know, that kind of thing.
hey, what you just said. Look,
You guilty of that too?
yeah, my son had one of the little motorized cars, right? And I'm like, oh, I don't need these instructions. I know how to put this together, little bike, right? No, one of the little two-seater cars, the little mobile
Yeah.
cars. And and he get in the car, I got it going, but somehow I didn't hook the brake thing up, right? Man, he
Yeah.
went right into the wall. I'm like, oh my God.
They hit you with, I'm like, Dad, you put this grill up? Why all this stuff left in the box still? He said,
Yeah,
oh, that's
I'm
just some
like, oh,
extra
that's
stuff.
what this,
That's just
this thing
extra.
is
The shit
for.
all upside down and stuff. Parts
I
ain't
didn't
even
know.
on it. It won't roll.
He was like, man, I wrecked my car already. I'm like, you hit that wall. Why you didn't stop? He said, I hit the brake thing, but it wouldn't stop. He started crying. I'm like, oh. So I went up there and it was like, for the brakes and stuff, I had to look through the I said, oh.
That's what them instructions for. They're not just the white paper. You supposed to
I
read.
called myself, I was a shade tree toy car mechanic.
Yep, that's why we supposed to read.
So you're right. If we don't read, how we learn? And everybody know I've been going like 5 or 10 minutes over, but equality is not equal. And that's hard to fathom when all we talk about is equality. But like 2 + 2 is 4. But you're telling me that's not 4 no more.
Right. That's crazy.
On a certain day, it could be 5.
That's what I say. Y'all, it's crazy though, but it's true. It's true.
And that's stressful. If you're stressful to you, Miss Christina, you're a wonderful mother. You have kids. You go through the blues with it and stuff, But your face, I lie you not, you could be probably a champion at poker because you keep a poker face. I don't know if you got a good hand or a bad hand.
It could be both. It could be both.
But look how our veterans, what you go over to another country, you fighting against tyranny and all that, and you come back here and you seeing all this drama and stuff that you fought over there. It makes some people feel like they gotta commit suicide because your life don't matter, or you feel like I've been living a lie all my life, but you haven't.
Right.
It's just that we have ignorant people, and the word God say, hey, I'm not your basic Christian. I just align myself with the word because I'm a spiritual person. I try to align with prayer. I'm not all that, I'm not in no pulpit and all that. I'm gonna just be honest with myself and let God be my judge.
Right.
And one thing Jesus told people, he said, well, should we pay our taxes? He said, render unto Caesar that has his image. These monies that we use, it's all dead presidents on these bills. Government say you got to pay your taxes. You got to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. He can't take away from me laughing, having a good time with my family and friends and associates. We have a drink, we listen to some music, and get our groove on.
You're right.
People talk about rap and hip hop. Let me explain to you about rap and hip hop, everybody, so you can see. We couldn't afford instruments in the hoods. Back when those blues singers and stuff, Wolfman and all them, they had somebody with a string, one thing, one string, and they would sing. They have a guitar sometimes with only 2 strings and make a hit out. Well, when you was in the hoods, only thing we can do, I remember in lunch when I was in the elementary, we'd be banging on the table, somebody make up the beat, and we'd be trying to sing something. And cats would start rapping. You done that? In school, somebody make a beat. Boo.
My boys do that. My boys do that now.
Yeah, okay. You don't have no instruments. We started the rap and hip hop. I remember as a kid watching Fat Albert game, and they was playing bed springs and a old pipe
and hitting
pipe.
glasses and
Only
cups
Rudy
and
had the
tops
electric
and stuff.
guitar. You had that one dude whose his hat was like this and stuff, and he'd be playing a bed spring and all that. They had, we made up beats, and then we make up the beats, and we'll sit up there and try, okay, because we don't have no instruments. I remember my mother got mad because we was on her stereo spinning the record back. What the? She had this album called Groove Me, Baby. It was an older Groove Me. Oh, right now. Something like that. So we was up there spinning this record back. He was like, Groove Me. What the world are you doing to my album? Smack. We tried to DJ.
Beat down.
We tried to, and look here. It amazed me. I put it on my Facebook. I always share a TikTok when it amazes me when I see family, my white neighbors and stuff enjoying hip hop.
I've been watching your TikTok a lot lately, and your stories.
There's some good stuff in there, huh?
I'll be up on your stuff. I'll be all up in your stuff for real.
We I'm gonna keep it 100. Like dude said, we have one life to live. I'm pressing for equality. Our show brings out stuff because it's a confrontation. It's not a confrontation, it's a conversation. Hey, what's up, Mr. Tiny Corn Dog? That's what he said. It looked like he was like giving highs. It's like the goats. That means goat is the greatest of all times and stuff. He said, dumb.
That's a funny face profile picture.
But you know what, man? We don't discriminate. I know Big Hank had a situation. It's probably why he couldn't be on here. Last he hit me, he had to. Something was on Channel 7 News out in L.A. He just put up on. He said, "White neighbors be like, is that a hot dog?"
You know that thing that be flapping at them car lights and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what that is. Yeah, the little balloon. That's what that look like.
You know what we tell them? Look, I got nothing but love because we all bleed the same blood. It was ignorance, and it ain't the people. I will always say this, and I'm gonna say this before we even get off the thing. It's not the people, it's the demons. We was alerted that it would not just be flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities, evils unaware. All them people that went in January 6th, them probably good. They was all business owners and stuff. But they got caught up into the rhetoricness, and next thing you know, you let the demons, which is legions, take you to that. It ain't the people. I'm glad that, to me, you're lucky I'm not Departments of Justice because I'd be like, yes, I understand you came to the federal building. That's not the charge that we're throwing at you. We're charging you with accessory to murder because we got 5 people laying out there and you over here in the rotunda. That means you had to come past that gate to come in here. You're accessory to murder. When you're yelling out, I don't care if you was in this group, whatever, whoever yelled out, kill Spence, kill this lady and that senator and that, all y'all now has a terroristic threat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. So I also wanted to give a shout out once again to Miss Woody. Miss Woody, is throwing she's throwing the Guinness Book of World Records for they want to fill up a major stadium or event center in St. Louis, Missouri, and they're trying to break the Guinness World Records, which is like 67,000 people. And she's been pushing this for a couple of years, and I want to bring light onto her. If you can, if you're a comic and you think you want to have a chance, you can go fill out the form on Show Me Funny. And it's going to keep it equal. I love that we try to be equality. I look and praying And God protect our troops and every other troops while they deal with Ukraine. I was looking at this over here too. This is Russia. This is Russia. It's big in the mud. Here's Ukraine. Ukraine, which is part of the Russian Soviet Union thing. Ukraine is real small, but it's something about that area. I think that Black Sea got a lot of oil or something in it because we go through problems right through that way. We're praying for our military. And the last thing I'm going to be doing is going against our Americans when we all agree that we might need to go over here and deal with Ukraine to deal with other people. When we got other people like Mr. Tucker, who is complaining, when you're complaining about Russia, she just said the money raised will help to combat homelessness. You know, that's a good start.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
with people with actions. But we in one of the richest countries in the world. And I know it has to deal with money, but I don't question the military. If they say yes, and they feel like that's what they have to do, and I know a lot of my friends and families, I pray for them. I'm not going to say, speak against my country, Mr. Tucker. They need their support. Because it ain't for them, and you got terrorists knocking at your door because you be like Putin and them, okay. And they said through entertainment events, we can continue to raise funds to help the citizens of that city. And anybody else, you want to work on your cities. But anyway, this uniqueness, I got a lot of respect for you.
Appreciate
you hear me? I appreciate when you here when you're not around. I know that there's something going on, and I'll be like, you ever be where I don't want to just call her on the day of the show. I should have called her Saturday afternoon, then I feel bad, so I'll be like, I'm gonna wait, hope she come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I be wanting to get on and stuff, but it be so much going on, and then the background noise and all of that. And plus, you probably forgot that I leave for DC in the morning. I go to.
Wow, what you mean? I forgot. Share with us what's going on.
So I go to DC for the Delivery Room Women's Conference. So I'll be back on the 27th.
Oh, you gonna be speaking?
I'm gonna be singing, and I get to put out my candles and wax melts and stuff. I had to do a shipment for there so they can do their pop-up shop and stuff.
Wow.
So the conference is called the Delivery Room, and from what I understand, it's gonna be an amazing event Thursday and Friday. So a lot been going on up to that. Like all hell has broke loose. Like three blowouts that happened on my way back and forth from Memphis. I done had 3 blowouts. I done had a deer run into my car like this and stare me in my face type thing. It's just stuff been going on as close as it gets to the event. And I'm like, okay, something great got to be going on after this. So
that's all that is. The devil's trying to throw roadblocks.
Yeah, so I've been catching it.
Hey, you know what? I'm so proud of you. That's right. I remember you said that. You know what? It's all it's gonna do is open up more and more. Are you gonna say
$1,000? Y'all, I'm going over there broke, but get what? I'm going to get delivered. Whatever it is that's in me, them demons or whatever up in there, gonna have to come out before I get back on that plane. So y'all just pray for me because I've never been on a plane and I don't know how they're gonna turn out. So
what how you do is you fly up, you go through the air, and you fly down. Now
look, I'm scared of heights.
Some turbulence. So you ain't never rode on a plane. Sometimes there's wind pockets and your seat do like this.
Lord, I probably pass out. I probably pass smooth out.
It's just called a turbulence and stuff. And that's the thing. It just won't be your seat shaking. Everyone on the plane seats to shake the plane. But look here. Look here. You're gonna be fine.
And I need a break anyway. I need to be away from the everyday struggles and depression at home. So I think this will be a little break away to regroup to be able to come back and tackle whatever it is. So
well, I'm proud of you, and I know you're gonna do fine. Are you gonna do before we get off? Are you gonna do an oratory before you sing your song?
I might.
You know, like Betty White. Betty Wright, remember how she was like, you know, and I could hear him shutting the door, and my mother was like, I know you're not gonna sing that song.
No. No, but I will be on TV though. It will be on TV. So
what?
Yeah, I will be out there.
Look, my man said I flew out to Oregon back in June. Flying is the devil. Laugh out loud. Look, I'm gonna just say this. This is the only thing that bothers me. I was flying out a lot. You know, I was flying a lot. And one of the things I really start paying attention to is why are we sitting in what they call terminal A, terminal B? It sounds like major sicknesses. The last thing I need to, it should be joyful one, you and delighted two. I don't want to be in a terminal. You hear somebody say, hey, look, I'm terminally ill. Oh, you about to die, Mo.
Is this the Midwest Show Me Funny Entertainment?
Yeah.
I would love to come, but hopefully I'm on the fixed income and 6 kids, so I'm gonna have to plan ahead to make sure I can afford to travel.
Well, you want to go, we'll get, because y'all, you have to do. Christina never calls me and asks me for nothing. I had to call her and say, I
would love to go, you know, but you know,
she can be a wonderful hostess, and she's a good planner, Miss Woody.
I gotta plan ahead.
I would do it. We'll take care of your ticket.
Okay, well, I'll see you in June or the 4th of July.
We're going to have you on Spirit, and you can only wear the clothes you got on because they charge $60 more.
Long as I got a washing machine, I'm good.
They be putting on 3 or 4 outfits at one time.
I ain't lying. Long as I got a washing machine, like I got to clean myself.
Hey, we got you on that, okay?
Okay.
For real. I'm proud of you doing this. You know what? We're going to pick back up on this equality and thirst because I'm concerned about our Americans. Now, I know you'll be down at the park at the women's conference.
But I can come in. I can.
Yeah, you come in, but we ain't going to ask you to talk and stuff. I want to see some. If you shoot one of the videos and you singing or something, we need to see that. And I'll show it on the next show. You're going to have somebody filming you, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of people. It's a whole situation.
Sounds like a lot of women though to me because
it's women and men, but it's a women's conference. Anybody can get there and get delivered, you know. But it's like a whole woman setup or whatever. So.
Oh, deliverance of spirits and stuff. I thought y'all was like women who had babies and stuff. And so
it's like whatever. Nah, that's the topic, the delivery room where you come in and like if you got dreams and stuff you've been trying to accomplish and stuff like that, it's like a lot of people who want something out of life who's really coming to get things, to get prayed up or whatever.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Well, guess what? God bless you. You'll be safe on that plane.
Okay.
You feel me? And when you get off that plane, you will be stronger. You know that, right?
Yeah.
When you get off. Because what don't kill you make you stronger.
Well, I hope I be real strong when I come back there.
I'm just teasing, yeah. Hey, man, love you much. And we out of here. Okay, everybody. God bless everyone.
Every Thursday. Hey. Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Roy, is anybody out there? It's the spot to be, baby. Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Roy Anthony